The Chicago Bears 2025 schedule has officially dropped, and it's time to take a deep dive into what's coming for the team next season. From the first kickoff to the last whistle, every matchup carries its own story, its own challenge, and its own opportunity to shift the tides of the year. Ranking these games from the easiest to the toughest is no simple task, but when you look closely, patterns start to emerge. Games that feel like guaranteed wins, others that promise a fierce battle, and a handful that could define the entire season. It's a journey through the highs and lows the Bears will face, and understanding the rhythm of the schedule is key to grasping what this team might accomplish. First off, it's essential to emphasize just how much the timing of a game influences. Its difficulty. Playing a strong team early in the season when they're still finding their groove can be very different from facing that same team in mid-season, fully healthy and firing on all cylinders. For example, when the Bears faced the Rams last year, the Rams were riddled with injuries, which leveled the playing field significantly and allowed Chicago to pull off the win. Had that game taken place later in the season, it likely would have been a very different story. So as we move through this ranking, keep in mind that timing can either ease the challenge or ramp it up dramatically. Starting with what looks like the easiest game on the schedule, it's hard to argue against the Saints at home. Regardless of who's under center for New Orleans, whether it's Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, or anyone else, the roster just doesn't instill fear. A new head coach in Kel Moore is stepping into his first season. And while the defense still holds some intriguing veterans, many of those players are aging and may struggle to keep up with a hungry Bears offense. This game has all the markers of a potential Bears win and feels like a clear must-have on the schedule. It's one of those contests where no matter what, the Bears are expected to take control and dominate, especially with home field advantage in their corner. Moving on to another crucial home game, the Browns will come to town in Week 15. This matchup is intriguing because both teams might be in a bit of flux, especially on the quarterback front. With 5 quarterbacks on the Bears roster and uncertainty reigning, this game might be the moment when someone like Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders steps up. Joe Flacco will likely still be calling the shots for Cleveland, but on paper, the Bears have a stronger squad, especially defensively. This one feels like another game the Bears should feel confident winning, but it will require focus and execution. Week 10 brings the Giants to Chicago in what could be a pivotal game. The Bears will be coming off back-to-back road games against Baltimore and Cincinnati, which could leave them physically drained. There's always the risk of a letdown after such a stretch. But the Giants also have a tough schedule, playing the 49ers the week before, which historically has been a brutal test. Teams that face San Francisco tend to come out worn down, making the Giants a team to watch closely in this spot. While the Bears have the home crowd advantage, they'll need to bring their best to avoid slipping here. The trip to Las Vegas in Week 4 stands out as the easiest road game on the schedule. The Raiders have some question marks, especially in their secondary and offensive line, and they lack a true top receiver to really challenge the Bears' defense. While Pete Carroll has brought some respectability to the sidelines, this isn't the same Raiders team of the past. Plus, Chicago fans are known for traveling well, so the Bears could almost feel at home in Vegas. This game presents a prime opportunity to notch a road win, which could be vital down the line. Coming in at the 5th easiest is the home game against the Steelers in Week 12. Even if Aaron Rodgers suits up for Pittsburgh by then, the Steelers might struggle, especially if injuries continue to pile up. Their offense lacks explosive playmakers outside of DK Metcalf, who recently joined the roster, and their quarterback situation isn't likely to inspire confidence. The defense has had its ups and downs, particularly without TJ Watt at full strength. For Chicago, this game should be winnable, but it will still require attention, especially as November in the Midwest can bring challenging weather conditions. The Cowboys visit Chicago in Week 3, which lands as the 6th easiest matchup. This is a tough spot because it follows emotional early season games, including Monday Night Football against the Vikings and a short week trip to Detroit. The Cowboys remain a formidable opponent, especially if Dak Prescott is healthy and playing at his best. However, the Bears' defense has a chance to slow down Dallas's ground game, which has been a problem for the Cowboys in the past. Injuries on defense, especially in the secondary, could be a factor, but overall, this game is manageable. It's a matchup that will test the Bears' resilience and ability to keep pace with a strong offense. The season opener, Week 1 against the Vikings on Monday Night Football, ranks as the 7th easiest game, which might surprise some. The teams are fairly even in talent, and Chicago's new coaching staff under Ben Johnson might have a slight edge over Minnesota's Dennis Allen, especially on the offensive side. Quarterback play is a big question mark, with J.J. McCarthy making his debut for the Bears, so the Vikings might have an early advantage due to experience. Still, primetime energy and home field advantage could boost Chicago. This game sets the tone for the season and is a critical opportunity to start strong. Week 16 Saturday showdown with the Packers is the 8th easiest game. Being the second meeting against Green Bay, this one carries extra weight, but Chicago's schedule leading into it favors them slightly. Green Bay will have to battle the Browns at home and then travel to Denver before facing the Bears, meaning the Packers could be worn down. Plus, altitude in Denver is always a factor late in the season. Bears fans know that rivalry games are never easy, but this scheduling quirk could give Chicago an edge, especially with a home crowd cheering them. On dot coming in right around the middle of the pack is Week 13's game against the Commanders on Monday Night Football. The Bears have the benefit of a bye week prior to this game, giving them 15 days to prepare versus only 8 days for Washington. Motivation will be sky high for Chicago, especially for players looking to prove themselves after last season. This game carries a ton of emotional weight and could be a turning point for the Bears if they come out firing. Week 2's trip to Detroit ranks as the 10th toughest game, largely because of the short turnaround after the season opener. It's a tough schedule spot, going from a Monday night primetime game to a Sunday noon kickoff just 6 days later. Still, having the Ben Johnson return storyline adds intrigue, and Detroit is a team still working out the kinks on both offense and defense. Early season jitters and adjustments could play into the Bears' favor here, even with the quick turnaround. Week 11's road game at Minnesota is always a challenge. This year, it ranks a bit higher in difficulty due to Minnesota facing Baltimore the week before, a game that will surely test the Vikings physically. The Bears, however, will come off a home game against the Giants, which should be less taxing. Even so, playing in Minnesota is never easy, and this game could go either way depending on health and momentum. In early projections, this game leans toward a loss, but it remains one of the more balanced matchups on the schedule. The Week 9 trip to Cincinnati is tough, mainly because Joe Burrow and his receivers are a formidable challenge. This game follows a road battle against Baltimore, so Chicago will be facing back-to-back difficult opponents in hostile environments. Cincinnati's defense can be scored on, so a shootout is possible, but it will be a test of the Bears' ability to perform under pressure and keep pace with a high-octane offense. Week 17 Sunday night game at San Francisco is among the hardest late-season contests. Initially ranked higher in difficulty, it settled a bit due to scheduling advantages like rest days and the potential for the game to be flexed depending on standings. Traveling across the country always adds a layer of difficulty, but the extra rest days could offset some of that. San Francisco remains a tough team with a strong defense and physical offense, making this a critical challenge for Chicago's playoff hopes. The 14th toughest game is the Week 14 trip to Green Bay. Playing at Lambeau late in the season is always daunting, especially if the Bears have already beaten the Packers at home. Green Bay will be highly motivated for revenge, and with an extra day of rest and the advantage of playing at home, the Packers are likely to come out swinging. This game has classic rivalry game intensity written all over it, and the Bears will need their best effort to come away with a win. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling around the Chicago Bears locker room as a potential storm brews within the team's ranks. Rumors have surfaced that Caleb Williams, the highly touted quarterback, is reportedly refusing to play alongside wide receiver DJ Moore. This surprising development has sent shockwaves through Bears fans and NFL insiders alike, raising questions about the internal dynamics and future of the franchise. According to sources close to the team, tensions between Williams and Moore have been simmering beneath the surface for some time. While details remain scarce, insiders suggests that personality clashes and differing on-field philosophies may have driven a wedge between the two star players. The Bears front office is said to be monitoring the situation closely, aware that any discord at such a critical position could derail the team's season before it truly begins. The Bears invested heavily in both players, seeing them as keys, components of a revitalized offense. Williams, known for his dynamic playmaking ability and strong arm, was expected to develop into a franchise quarterback, while Moore's speed and routes running skills were supposed to provide a perfect complement. Yet, if these rumors hold water, the harmony that the Bears envision may be at risk. Fans and analysts alike are left to speculate how this conflict might affect team chemistry and performance on the field. Will the coaching staff intervene to mend fences, or could this tension lead to a shakeup in the roster? Some whispers even suggest that trade talks might already be underway, with the Bears exploring options to resolve the conflict by moving one of the key players. In a league where teamwork and cohesion often spell the difference between victory and defeat, this unfolding drama could have significant repercussions. The Bears, who have struggled to find consistent success in recent years, cannot afford distractions or fractures within their roster. How management handles this crisis could define the trajectory of the team's upcoming season. While no official statements have been made, the possibility of Caleb Williams refusing to share the field with DJ Moore remains a hot topic among insiders. For now, fans can only watch and wait, hoping that whatever issues exist can be resolved quickly and quietly before the Bears' ambitions are compromised by off-field turmoil. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.